off the shores of Lake Ontario in the quiet town of Volney, New York, stands a piece of history that changed the course of our nation forever.
Because of Lake Ontario and the way to escape the United States into Canada, this was a pathway in the Underground Railroad.
Bristol Hill Church, it was a safe haven for fugitive slaves. To understand its history, though, we sat down with Reverend Jim Hinman.
Silas Slater was African American,
who took us all the way back to 1812, when the church was organized in an unprecedented way.
We have documented records from the time that African American and European Americans built this church and formed this church.
So what are these right here?
I believe these are the benches that people sat on from 1835 to around 1900.
In this small sanctuary, a congregation of blacks and whites sat together, worshiped together, and fought together to end slavery.
Not only did white people hide fugitive slaves of this church, but they also made resolutions in the church that slavery was a sin.
In this original resolution, the church vowed to free slaves, and white and black abolitionists in the church hid them in their homes in Gilbert Mills. About 2 miles away here from the church are actually several homes of members who housed slaves on the Underground Railroad as they journeyed to freedom. This home belonged to the Mason family. They were part of the Vigilance Committee who harbored slaves. And then within walking distance were 2 other safe havens. The rich history in this town cultivating unlikely relationships in the present day, specifically between Pastor Willie Mitchell and Reverend Hinman, along with his son, Pastor Andrew.
I can't really put it into words, but it was something that, a feeling of comfort and belonging. We belonged, and this relationship was meant to be. And right after that, we found all this information.
The relationship between the Hinmans and Pastor Mitchell somewhat reflective of the history of Bristol Hill.
Today, I think we forget what people truly faced and how inspirational that can be when we ourselves are dealing with hardships in our own lives. And that just to have that story to look back on can give you a renewed sense of hope and optimism.
Offering an historic lesson for generations to come. In Volney, I'm Jennifer Sanders reporting.